Alright, it's been a while, but Cisalpina's back. Let's take a look at where we are right now. So we are currently producing 3 cars and have 1 in preparation. The Montone is still running, which was designed in 1951 and went into production in 1953, but it will soon be phased out as soon as the Futurismo will hit the market. The Nuova Via, designed in 1956, released in 1960, is currently being prepared for the 3rd generation. We see the 3rd generation car here, and will still run for a little bit longer. So the Nuova Via is somehow our supercar, even though a bit underpowered by now. The Futurismo is more the GT car, and it's also sold in Helvetia, where they have much more severe safety regulations. And the last car, the G2, is in production since 1965, based on a 1961 F1 car, and currently bringing in the money for us. So the G2 is our entry-level lightweight sports car, and almost bankrupted the company as the F1 car, and now saving the company as our somewhat mass market model. When we take a look at regulations, we see that the Montone will run until the planned end, when the Futurismo hits the market in 71 without any issues, and all of the other cars are currently limited by their emission standard, which is WES 4, and they currently can run until 1975, where they will have problems in Gasmea. Gasmea will open up for us in 1970, so it's not too far away, and we should plan to have a facelift ready to be started in 1970, so that we can bring them onto the market there. Until then, I think we are pretty good with our current lineup, and that means we can maybe finally save a bit of money for factory upgrades and put ourselves on solid feet for the future. So I would say this episode will focus on the economics and making sure that we survive and make more profit. And then in the next episode we will start the follow-up model for the Nuova Via. So let's get right into it. Currently we have a plus of 500k, and this is mostly coming from pre-orders that we have for the G2. We still have plenty of pre-orders and are barely able to produce enough cars. That means I would like to improve our production capability, and the current production, we have 3 small sheds as of now. It's currently being produced in the racing shed at 2 shifts. We could increase that to 3, which would wear out our people and our tools. We could also try to build a bigger factory here. I would not only want to increase our car production capability, but also the engine production capabilities, but I think that would have to wait for a little bit longer, because we still have negative company valuation. Maybe we can afford a small car factory earlier. So let's try to do that. So we build a new car factory and select our project, and this is the Mark II G2. Still we build in Fuenia. I could now already try to go to a medium plot, but this is too expensive for me right now, so we will increase gradually and build on new plots. And let's start with a small one. I guess this should roughly be double the tiny one, so the tiny one has 9,250 production units. And the small one, oh yeah, and it's not just double, it's 3.5 times that. Okay, that should be really good. So production flex is just a chassis with handmade parts, because it's a space frame. Nothing we can do here. Also the upgrades are pretty expensive, more than 10 million, 14 million, 20 million. Leatherworks are not needed here, so that's all good. And then let's start maybe with 1 shift, basically double our production capability. This will also make our cars cheaper compared to now, and we'll pay them a little bit more, and we will make a decent profit. With a bit more tooling and automation, we make sure that our cars are actually working when we deliver them. QA threshold we typically had at, I think, 80% or something. Let's try to aim for 85. Bit of slowdown, but we can easily increase our production with more workers. Alright, and then we have a total cost of 10 million. Now it would be interesting to know how long this takes to build, because I want to maybe not have a loan for this. So let's check again. Construction time 13 months, so 1 year basically, and we currently make 500k a year. I don't know if it will stay that way, but let's calculate with it. That would be 6 million. So 6 million we are making, we have 2.5 in the bank, which is not enough. So we need a bit of a loan. And just to be safe, I go to 60%. And we can then pay back pretty quickly in 4 years. And that should get us done. Alright, that's one thing. We have planned a new factory. Excellent. We are almost looking like a real car company if that gets finished. Is there anything else we need to take care of? The Nova Via still has a few pre-orders there, but I think this will solve itself when we get closer to the release of the new facelift, when they won't buy the old car anymore. And for the Montone we have a little bit of stock. We can maybe ramp down production a tiny bit, even though currently our sales numbers are slowly increasing again because of excellent economy right now. Let's say how they are currently being produced. We are just at 0.5 shifts, so it doesn't make any sense to reduce it or pause it, so let's just let it run. And in case it doesn't sell anymore and we are just accumulating stock, I will just kill it. We probably will have to do that at some point because the Futurismo is still far away. Okay, so let's see how this then works out. Oh, we're still making a healthy profit, so we are definitely on the safe side. Company valuation has gone down again as we have a new loan, and the new factory doesn't count yet. So everything's going to plan, I guess. Still a bit more stock here for the Montone. And it looks like we are not able to keep up with the Nuova Via. Yeah, and here the G2 still has problems. We cannot build enough cars. So let's wait for the new factory. So the taxman will like us this year. This is quite a profit we are making. We never had such a good year, I guess. And it's very important that I invest the money now to the new factory. Okay, still no taxes because I'm still so much in debt. Oh, why? Well, that's good. And the new factory will be there in February. Let's wait for that. So for 1 month I will let the old and new factory produce in parallel. Boom. A lot of production, a lot of cars that we sold, and we are working on our levels here, on our pre-order levels. And I think maybe let's continue that for a little bit to reduce our pile of pre-orders. And then, now that we are at a positive company valuation, we can think about getting an engine factory going very soon. But I would like to improve our credit score a little bit because we will need a loan for that. So the profit margin is pretty bad right now, but that's also because we are repaying a lot of loans again. This is looking pretty good. I still need to run the racing shed in parallel, I think. We're also making a ton of money from the G2 for the emission standards that we are meeting, which is good. Okay, Nuova Via. The Berlinetta has so many pre-orders and we are not building them. Just a Spider because it has a higher profit margin. Cannot really understand that, but now we are almost already selling more of the 3rd gen compared to the 2nd gen. And we're at C here. So maybe let's now check if we can afford an engine factory. I have 5 mil in the bank. Let's build a new engine factory. So far we only have contracts, and we need an engine factory probably for our inline 4 engine, because that's the one where we sell the most. And that's the engine we need. We could go to Ahana to produce our engines, but it wouldn't feel right from my point of view. So again, small plot. We really have to keep it small and affordable, because the factory itself is really expensive. The forge works is flashing. It would cost 30 million, but actually we don't need it, because only the racing version has forged parts. The Stradale just needs the foundry, so no need to do that. You could also say, why do you build the engine factory right now, when you need an aluminium foundry later on, or aluminium engines? That's a good point. We could wait and go for the alu foundry right away, but I think for the smaller engines maybe we stick to steel because it's cheaper. I will now try that. We can also try out later if we can refund some of the iron foundry to finance the alu foundry in case we need it. So this would cost us quite a bit. Seems to be very labor intense, this engine. But we can reduce that part with automation, but it's very expensive. So maybe we even have to cut it back a bit. Yeah, it's not too good. Let's also see what we are currently paying. So this would now be 2.4k. I need to cancel everything that I did. It looks like we are currently paying 6k per engine, and we could bring that down quite a bit. So let's do it, or let's try to do it. So let's take a look here. We would get currently a loan coverage of 93%, but that would be very expensive. How long does it take? Also 13 months, so it's quite a short project. I would like to have more time, and it will be really expensive to pay it back. Don't know if we are in the position as of now. So we make only a very small profit, 300k, which is just 4 million in a year. We currently have 5 or 6 in the bank, so we need 80% at least. Do we want to do that? Is this worth it? It would then pay back at least 700k per month. And 700k per month, we are currently building 200 of those per month. That means we would save 200 times 4k, 800k, which would mean it should be a net profit of 100k. But only if we can keep up the current levels of production, and we won't be, because we are currently running 2 factories and the pre-orders will be over at some point. Oh, this is really hard to decide right now. I think I want to postpone it until we shut off the racing shed for the G-Duo, just to have the proper numbers here and to be able to make a proper estimation. Our company valuation and credit score will rise until then, and we will get better conditions. No need to rush. We are making tons of profit right now. So the pile of Stradale pre-orders has been fully worked off, and now we work on the Competizione. Still 300 pre-orders waiting there. And our profit margins are rising and rising, because we now can sell much more of the Stradale, because the delivery delay penalty is now at 0. So maybe this number here doesn't go down too much. Oh, it's just going through the roof right now. Also, we get the new Nuova Via very soon. Yeah, this is now a point where I'm starting to wait and wait and wait, and maybe at some point I miss the best time to do a change. We should maybe also talk about when we need to do other things. So in 1970, Gasmea will open up, and we want to be able to sell there. So we should try to make it that we can launch a facelift for every car that we want to sell there in 1970. That's clear. Also, the Nuova Via at some point needs a successor. And this will take 4, 5, 6 years to engineer. So, and we want to do that next episode. Is that in 1970 or is it too late? Because then we would have the car ready to be launched in Gasmea as soon as it's done. I think that's the best way to do it. Because else we would start the engineering right now, then it would be finished in 1972. Then we have a bunch of pre-orders, we need to wait until we produce the pre-orders, and then we can finally start the facelift. I don't think that's a very good idea, as we would have to repay all of the pre-orders. So to play it safe, I would say in 1970 we start the new Nuova Via, or however it will be called. G2 will run for a bit, it's our cash cow right now. I'm not worried about that. And we will do a facelift in 1970. Futurismo will just be ready in 70 as well, so we launch a facelift then. So then it's decided we start a new car in 1970. And we have plenty of time now to do the engine factory, I think. And if there's then some money left, we can work on turbo technology. Turbos will be released in 75, but I want to have them earlier for some nice Group 5 racing. Okay, let's do an engine factory in 1968. I want to see 3 more months. I want to see the new facelift of the Nuova Via, and then we'll do it. Okay, now we get even more money because the Nuova Via also brings in quite a bit, and we cannot keep up with production. So Nuova Via, yeah, I can ramp it up to 1 shift. Okay, and then we are now in 1968. We have really good credit score and good company valuation and a bit of money. So let's do the engine factory right now. And then now I have much better conditions. I will take out 80% because I have 10 already in the banks. No, I don't need 80%. So let's calculate, let's say 1 million per month. Then I have 20 in the bank, I need 60%. And let's play it safe. 67, 2/3. And repay at a decent rate. 500k per month. This should be doable. So now the G2 is almost done with regards to pre-orders. But yeah, you see the slowdown. The curve is going down slower and slower because of the desirability penalty we get for the delivery delay. That means we need to ramp up the production a bit more in our small factory. So let's go to 1.3 shifts. Or let's go to 1.5 and I kill the old factory. And this is the racing shed. And again, killing factory means we design an empty factory. Just don't do anything. Cost us 100k to remove everything. No loan. And we will shift the workers over to the new factory. And this will then further increase our margin because we can produce the cars more efficiently in the new factory. Oh, we're shoveling in so much money. Okay, now is the leaded fuel ban in Fuenia in 10 years. Also in Helvetia. And we will pay taxes. Oh no, 1 million almost. And we still make tons of profit. Could have done a much smaller loan, I think, on the engine factory. But it's alright. We now can do a little bit of R&D. So the one thing that's really interesting is, of course, where is it? There, the turbocharger. And this is something I want to have quickly, and it's actually quite cheap. to research that one. So I could go for +5 maybe. And have maybe also the new Nuova Via already as a turbo car. Might help us also with regards to emissions. I should probably also invest in catalytic converter because they will kill our power, or in fuel injection. I think I will go for the catalytic converter. So we have unlocked the exhaust reactor, but I don't think that it's doing a lot. So I want to have that in 1970 as well, so that our new facelifts will already be ready for new emission standards. I think that's a good move. And then we spent 500k on this. What else do we want to do? Aluminium wheels will come in 1970 anyway. A premium 8-track for the interior would be nice, maybe. Vented discs would be nice, but we cannot do everything. Also we get the hyper-eutectic cast. Also very good in 1970. So 1970 will be a big tech upgrade for us. Yeah, I think it makes sense to go for the interior and maybe even for +3, even though then it's getting really expensive. +2 is enough. Okay, and then just for fun, let's take a look also here, what we can do here in 1970. Is there any... This could be a new Cisalpina supercar, this could be one, a standard wedge. This would be a bit boxy. This is also nice. I think we will find something. This is a bit too futuristic, I think. Okay, yeah. I think we're looking good in 1970. That means we can just let it run for a little bit more. Yeah, what we also haven't touched in a long while is our marketing. We can spend a little bit more, because we don't do any marketing in Hedvisia, and I think that's a mistake actually. We are not selling anything right now in Hedvisia, and we want to sell a GT car very soon, so let's focus on that. So definitely, what do they want? Sportiness, prestige, a little bit of comfort, a little bit of drivability, smoothness, top speed, acceleration as well. Let's choose that. Doesn't help a lot, but also doesn't cost a lot. Prestige marketing is quite expensive there. And here, maybe in Fuina we also need to focus a little bit more on marketing in the prestige areas. But I will more focus on track. Okay, and in the Lua, so a little bit of comfort, more prestige. And we are actually doing a little bit here. Let's do that there as well. This will be quite an upgrade to our expenses. Yep, and we're losing money again. But I think we can survive that, because the factory is draining a lot of money as of now. So we should be 1 million, or let's say 500k in the plus when the factory is done. But at least the taxman should leave us alone. Okay, why are we losing money now so quickly? So we still have issues producing the Berlinetta here. And we can do a lot more, so we need to ramp up our production. 30% more. And yeah, the reason why we are losing money as well is because our G2 production is not perfect. We are not reducing the pre-orders of the Competizione. Now we're reaching a little bit scary levels again. Montone is just accumulating pre-orders, so 7 months in stock as of now, but we cannot reduce the production levels. We just need to kill it in time before the Futurismo releases. Things seem to turn around right now. No taxes, very good. And we will get the new factory very soon. They didn't even notify us, but we have a new factory already online and we are back to profit. But the company valuation is pretty bad. So we didn't get all of the company valuation added, or also our debt, of course, now sitting at 70 million, contributes a lot. Okay, so what do we have to do? It's a little bit confusing, I think, this episode, but we need to get our inline 4 contract cancelled, just in case they are still producing things for me. Okay, this one is already paused because they see that this one is cheaper, so I can just empty it. So this one really is empty, has no project. So yeah, our level of expenses is alright, I think. And you can also see that our company valuation rises very quickly. The company is in a better condition than what the numbers tell us right now. So very balanced expenses and revenue, but as we are repaying our debt, company valuation is rising. And that's exactly what I want to have. And Chidue is really, yeah, taking 2/3 of the pie here. Montone is basically done. 8 months as of now. Still need to let it run for a little bit longer. Now we're at 9 months. So I think at the end of the year I can cancel it. .1, it's actually picking up again as the economy is getting better. And we have 2 more months. And it's 1970. Gasmea has opened their borders to trade with us. Very nice. So the Montone now has a sales in stock of 9 months or almost, and we will get the Futurismo in 11, which means we can probably stop it. The farm shed, the original shed. No, I cannot stop it because I already assigned the Futurismo to it. Okay, so that decision has already been made and I will continue to produce it. At some point I can pause it. I think I can let it run for a little bit longer then. Yeah, it's 1970, so this is the year of the big upgrades. We have enough in stock of the Mark III here, also of the Chidue, so we can do 2 very quick facelifts. But maybe we need new tech. And currently, do we already have this one? No, we were too slow as of now to research the 2-way catalytic converter, so we need to wait a little bit longer. And also the interior is not there yet, so maybe we wait a few more months until we do the facelift. But I also wanted to do it just in next episode. But let's at least try and see where we would land and if we can make it. So I call this the Mark II because it's actually the 2nd generation of the road car. And let's see where we can get this. So again, for Gasmea, minimum safety we would meet that. And emissions would also be alright. So we could just do a very quick one for now. Or we could try and see if we can make this one more environmentally friendly. So leaded fuel ban, unleaded fuel, 91 RON is available but not in the lure. And we don't get the exhaust reactor here. Why not? We only get it on cast. Interesting. to our emissions. Say we almost made West 5, but we are far away from, and really far away from West 6. So it doesn't make any sense here to go with the exhaust reactor. I won't be able to do that. Yeah, with mechanical fuel injection I can get very close, but I don't know if our mass production engine should use that because it's so expensive. What about the 4-barrel? Yeah, the carb is not... The carb does not want to do that. I think we definitely need to wait for the proper catalytic converter. But what we can already do now is, before we forget it, do some marketing in Gasmea as well. And if you take a look at the market in Gasmea, then we see it's probably mostly GT. Supercar is not existing, track car is not existing, so we need to go into this direction as well. So, prestige, comfort, sportiness. Yeah, maybe not drivability, it's very expensive. And then we get some nice growth already. I won't do company marketing yet because Gasmea is so huge. I cannot pay that. And then, yeah, let's wait a little bit longer to prepare the end of the episode. And then we do all of the important work next time. Just need to constantly check when I unlock things. So in 3 to 4 months I should be ready. And I need to pause. Yeah, I can pause the Montone now. Which also gets us nicely back into profit. Economy is really nice in the past years. And we have unlocked what we want, so we can use that. Although I must say we will unlock those parts with tech pool, and they are not yet up to the reliability standard, because yeah, normally you need to have the same amount of quality than tech pool to get up to the standard if you unlock parts early. But I think with our reputation I think we can still do it. We have a very prestigious company, but not very reliable, so the reputation is not too good. That's the way it is. So our G-Duo now finally has no pre-orders anymore after we sold 25,000 of it. So this is really a mass market car. So we can probably turn it down a bit in the factory. So 1.2 shifts. And we cannot forget that in next episode, now that we have done it now. But for now I think that's it. I think it's quite interesting to see that you don't have to do a lot to improve the situation of a company. Sometimes it's important to wait and do small decisions that influence the numbers and not your cars. So this time we just built factories. We put our workers into the new factories where we are more efficient, and this really has brought us to new levels of wealth. We still have the same money in the bank, but our company valuation has risen a lot, and we are working on reducing our debt already. Still 56 million that we are owing the banks. We are repaying 900k per month, so we make a profit basically of 1.2 million. So we are doing pretty good, I would say. But the really important time is starting now. Big emissions regulations are on the horizon in 1976, and at least the one in Florina is very, very important to us. Gasmea as of now is bonus because we haven't even started selling there, but Florina is important and could kill our company. And once we have done that, then we are pretty much safe for the next decade. So let's try to get going next time. New engines, or more efficient engines, more clean engines, and also a new car. Maybe we will have to split the work into 2 episodes and have no progress in time at all, because it's just so much work. But yeah, we made lots of progress in time this time, 4 years. Next time we can make no progress in time but have new cars. Thank you all for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button. Thank you very much in advance for that. It helps out a lot. And yeah, have a good time. See you all again soon. Bye bye.